respect, but I promise I'm repping the O to the dead. Hey, oof, I told them out of my way. I don't got nothing to say. Now they can't run at my pace. Yeah, they know that we ain't the same. 402, we rap the game. I told them this ain't a game.
What is up? It's another Fins Take with CB83 show. Hey, what's cracking with y'all? You already know what time it is. Shout out to everybody in the building thus far. Please do your boy a favor. Hit the like on your way in. You already know how we get down on Fins Take with CB83. Hey, appreciate all y'all coming through. A lot of love coming through. A lot of love in the building. Been getting a lot of love. Subscribers are growing, man. I appreciate it, bro. It's on the screen down there at the bottom. Just hit 798 of 1,000 subscribers. We're growing. Become a day oneer. Like, share, and subscribe. I appreciate everybody subscribing, sharing, liking the content. It's all love. It's all Miami Dolphins. You know how we get down over here. You know how we get down. Hey, Miami Dolphins love over here. Shout out to the homie Kenna Rankin in the chat. What's good, bro? He says, what's up, bro? What's popping with you, man? Do me a favor, guys. Hit that like on your way in. Nobody really knows I'm even live right now. Nobody knows. Nobody knows. I put it out on Twitter just randomly like an hour ago. I was like, man, I feel like cranking up and going live, man. I heard a lot of nonsense in the community today, so we're going to address it, man. When I hear some of this stuff, I'm just like,
what? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
Man, when you listen to these panels and you listen to, some of these people get up here and, spew nonsense, it's crazy. It really is. But I appreciate it. I appreciate all the content creators out there. Giving people a voice in the community, giving people the opportunity to get up there and, say wild stuff. I love it. But shout out to everybody in the chat. Who else is in there? Let me get back to it real quick. What's popping? The homie Canes is in that joint. He says, salute CB83 and everyone. What's up, Canes? What's up, my boy? Hit that like on your way in. Appreciate you, Canes. I know you always gonna hit the like and show love, man. That's love. Mr. Fanatic says, fins up, baby. What's cracking, man? What's cracking, man? Hey, I'm about to pull up this Dalvin Cook interview, man. We about to talk about it. I heard a lot of people say that the Miami Dolphins don't need Dalvin Cook. They don't need him. Let's rock out with what we got.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
Hey, man. Hey, I can't get down. I can't get jiggy to it, man. I'm always trying to upgrade my team. And I wish some of these Tua haters had the same type of energy when it came to the running back room. It's just like, bro, y'all want to upgrade every other position except the running back room? Is that what y'all telling me? Like, you don't like good running backs? You don't like top 5 running backs all of a sudden? Now it's not a thing to you? Like, come on, bro. I can't get down with it. I can't get jiggy to that, man. Mr. Fanatics in this joint says, fins up. JR Black is always in the building. The man, the myth, the legend. What's good, fam? You already know what time it is. Hey, pop up every now and then. We fly under the radar, bring you some content every now and then, and just keep it completely 100 with you. I'm never going to lie to the people. Always going to keep it 100, especially on my end, man. JR Black says, not everybody needs to be heard. And I agree with that. Like, some people, some of y'all are better off. Listen, look me in the eyes. Look, I'm the captain now. Some of y'all are better off on the sidelines. Right? I'm gonna just be completely honest with you. Some of your takes are better off being heard quietly in your head. That's where they're better off at. But, there's a panel for everybody. There's an opportunity for everybody. Everybody gets a voice. So we're going to let everybody rock out. Everybody gets a voice. You get a voice. You get a voice. You get a voice. You get a voice. And Just use it wisely, people. Don't spew nonsense. We don't want to spew nonsense in the chats and on these panels, man. Let's be realistic. Let's have some facts to back up our takes. And I mean, the film don't lie. The eye in the sky don't lie. So if you're evaluating a player, or if you're saying, hey, we don't need a guy, tell me why we don't need him. Tell me what is his skill set we don't need to help our football team. And then we can have some serious conversations, because that's really what it's about. Like, you got to be honest with yourself. Chris Greer, Mike McDaniel, people in the organization are looking to upgrade this team however they could do it. Whether it be running back, whether it be defensive line, whether it be linebacker, they're always looking to upgrade the team, and they're trying to put the pieces together, right? You're not going to always have a great offensive line. And I was saying this the other day on Twitter. I was like, man, please just get me off this Miami Dolphins building the offensive line train. Because I hate it. Honestly, I hate it here. I hate it where every year we're talking about building the offensive line. At some point, maybe it's not the offensive line. Maybe it's the fact that it's the scheme, right? Maybe it's the scheme. And maybe it's the fact that your runners aren't good enough. They aren't a threat in multiple facets of the game. So that can be the case. So let's not just think it's exclusively the offensive line, because it could be more than that. And that's what I want you guys to understand. It could always be more than that. So keep that in mind. So yeah, my man Fanatic Trev in the building. What's good, man? I don't think I've seen you before. What's popping? What's up with you, man? What's up with you, man? What's up, Fanatics Trev? Pete's taking the building. What's good? Pete's takes. Casuals love going live, but I slide to hit the like. Oh, okay. Pete says the casuals love going live. Hey, only real takes over here. We don't do the casuals. We won't do the casuals takes, Pete. Ken and Rakin says, that's not the point, bro. Why resign players and draft a running back when you really want someone else? And look, that's the thing. Is sometimes that happens, right? You get a player, and then you have an opportunity to get another player, and you get the player, and it just doesn't work out for that other player that you had before. Like Cedric Wilson, for instance. Like Cedric Wilson was picked up prior to Tyreekhill coming in, right? We picked up Cedric Wilson thinking he was going to be the 2 receiver. Tyreek Hill becomes available. You think the Dolphins aren't going to jump on that because you already got a guy in the room who's kind of at the 2 position? No, that's not how it works. You're always trying to upgrade that position. So if you're trying to upgrade that position, you're always trying to add pieces. And even if it comes at the expense of another guy, you're still trying to add pieces. And that's what you guys want us to do with the offensive line, right? You guys want us to get another really good player in and push some of those other guys down the pecking order. Like, that's what you want. So if you say we can do that for the offensive line, then why can't we do it for the running back room? Huh? Why can't we do it for the if we could do it for the offensive line, if we could get a good player and push other guys down, push other guys out of the lineup, right? Why can't we do it for the offensive line? I don't get it.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
It just doesn't make sense to me. So you guys got to explain it to me. Maybe I'm tripping. Maybe I'm not seeing the vision. But if we have an opportunity to get a guy who's a better runner, better pass catcher, better in the screen game, better at pass blocking, better at running, like, why wouldn't we jump on that opportunity? Especially at the rate we can get him. Like, we're getting him at a discounted rate, right? If he wants $6-7 million, give him the $6-7 million and let's rock. Yeah. I'm not with going above 10 million to pay Dalvin, but I think Dalvin will do a 2-year deal with, 10, 15 million guaranteed, right? I think that's That's reasonable. If we give him not 15, but if we do 2 years, 16 million and do 8 million guaranteed or 10 million guaranteed, it's possible. It's possible. So we can't be closed-minded when it comes to upgrading positions. Y'all want to upgrade every position, D-line, offensive line. You better be willing to upgrade the offensive line. I mean, the running back room too, because that's part of this team, and that's a really big part, especially when that guy's touching the ball 20 times a game. Like, those runners touch the ball 20 times a game. Them dudes, if you get a guy who's dynamic with the football, it changes the dynamic of the game. It just does. It just does. It makes it easier for your offensive line to work, right? And that's what we want to do at this point. We know, we have a core group of guys that are in there, right? All offensive lines are not going to be great. They just aren't. It's just not how it works. You're going to have some average players on there. The good teams have a great scheme. They hide their weaknesses and highlight their strengths. They run the football and still find a way to get it done. It's possible. We just gotta do our thing, man. Ken Rankin says it's not the skill set, it's more the holes and other spots that need upgrading bad. And there's always gonna be spots. No team goes into the season with everything filled, with feeling good about every spot. No team does it. There's going to be holes on this Miami Dolphins roster. That's the nature of every NFL roster. It just is. It's realistic, right? You got to be realistic with yourself. There's no team that goes into the season, no NFL team that goes in feeling good about every position. If you go ask anybody in a different fan base, they're going to say, and they know about their team, they're going to say, hey, we have holes here, 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 and here. That's just the nature of it. Now, would I rather have a hole at defensive line, or would I rather have a hole at running back? And because guys are getting hurt, I would rather have a hole at defensive line, because I feel like Vic Fangio is smart enough to scheme that up, cover that up. I want a dynamic runner. I want to be able to score the football. We might get into games where we need to be scoring a lot of points in shootouts versus the Kansas Cities, the Cincinnati's. We need a good runner. We need somebody we can lean on late in games. That's going to be key. It's going to be key. So that's what I want to see. Moya TV, what's popping? Man, what's good, family? What's good with you? Ken Rankin says, something I just noticed, CB, why you got the Browns helmet at the top left corner? That's not a Browns helmet. That's just a Miami Dolphins helmet. It's just a logo, bro. I didn't want to put a Dolphins logo on it because it looked funny, so I didn't do that. Definitely not a Browns helmet, though. Fanatic Trev says, chilling, I be in and out of all YouTube. Okay, all right. Checking you out. Q, what's good? My oos, what's good? The homie Q in the building. What's popping? What do you think about the narrative Dalvin Cook pricing himself out of Miami? It's BS, man. Don't even worry about it. Dalvin just wants to feel the love a little bit. I think we're massaging that contract and doing whatever we need to do to get the numbers right. I don't think Dalvin is pricing himself out. And we're going to go over the interview in a second where he kind of talks to Rich Eisen about, or he's on the Rich Eisen show talking about, hey, I just want to feel the love a little bit, feel like home, right? Feel like I'm back in Miami where he may be. So we'll see, man. And we'll get to that. Q, what's popping? Q, the homie. Aqua Vision in here. Aqua, what's up, man? The homie Woo back. Woo, what's popping? Woo is the homie from the great outback over in Australia. Man, I got fans everywhere, man. My main man. Go follow Woo back's channel too. Woo's got a dope channel where he checks out food and the culture over there. The Polynesian culture is dope. Go check that out. I love watching shows like that. I love watching different cultures, the food, the events they have and stuff like that. So be sure to check that out. So yeah, man. H, what's popping? I see you, H. What's cracking? What's cracking with you? So let's go ahead and get to this, guys. I wanted to pull this up. Let me go ahead and get some stuff out the way. get all these banners out the way and stuff, and then I'm gonna be able to pull us up. Now I'm gonna have to stop it a little bit every now and then, but let me know how the volume is. I want you guys to get the volume nice and good.
Impact, if any, was it making?
All right.
Dalvin Cook joining the show right now. Dalvin, it's Tom Pelissero. How you doing, man?
What's up, my guy?
Dude, it's good to hear from you. Where are you at?
So this is an interview today that Dalvin had, and give me the thumbs up if you can hear it. I just want to make sure you guys can hear it. Somebody give me a thumbs up. Let me know that you can hear it. All right, cool. So we good. So this is Dalvin Cook today on the Rich Eisen show, talking to, I think this is Tom Pelissero, right? And he's going to talk about, some of what he's dealing with, where he's at, stuff like that. So this is my first time watching. I watched like the first minute or so, and I was like, let me stop it. I just want to watch it with y'all so I can react as you guys hear it as well. Yes, sir. Woo back. See you, my boy.
Where at right now? Like, what are you up to?
Man, I'm just training right now. I'm back in Minnesota right now. Just rehabbing and just getting my shoulder and getting back ready to play.
Tell me about this.
So he said, so the first question was, hey, what's he up to? So Dalvin says, hey, I'm in Minnesota. I'm rehabbing, preparing to play, getting my shoulder right. So Dalvin recently had shoulder surgery. Apparently he's been playing with this shoulder injury, a torn labrum, for about 3 years now. And he's been rocking out. And that's been a situation, him having the surgery. I think that has to do with some of what he's dealing with in these contract disputes, whether it's, playing incentives or, injury clauses and stuff like that they put into contracts in order to protect themselves. The team try to protect themselves from injuries and stuff like that. So he's in Minnesota rehabbing, getting ready for the season. And that's what he's got. That's what he's got going on. We'll continue on.
About the shoulder. You played with that for several years. You had to get it surgically repaired. How much of a impact, if any, was it making on how you were able to play? And how good do you feel now that you actually got the thing fixed?
Yeah, like a lot of people don't know, like the last.
So, and guys, I got to stop it. And this is something I have to do on YouTube. I have to stop it every like 14, 15 seconds just so it doesn't stop the stream. I don't want it to kick the stream. If it does kick the stream, somebody please get in the chat and let me know, and then I'll just kind of wait for it to pop back up.
3 years I've been playing with a torn labrum, and it's been different. Like, I feel good sometimes, and then I have an accident where it come out and I have to deal with it for like a week and put a brace on and come back and play. Just like learning how to fall, learning how to brace for hits, and just it's been different. A lot of people don't know the back.
So he says he's been playing with a torn labrum, right? So he's been playing with that. He said it's been difficult taking the hits, learning how to fall on it, and just it being difficult for him playing with an injury like that. So here it has on the screen, free agent running back, 4-time Pro Bowler, 4 straight 1,100-yard seasons, and a second-round draft pick in 2017 out of Florida State, out of FSU, man. So he's talking about that injury, man, and how he's dealing with it. I'm gonna continue on.
The backdrop on, a lot of stuff of me going out to play ball every Sunday with a brace on or my shoulder possibly could pop out. So people didn't know that. And me getting it fixed was ideal for me because I just want to be free now. Just go out there and just turn it loose and just be Dalvin. And I'm getting back to that point now to, I'm feeling good to go out there and just turn it loose and be ready to play for what I want to play for this year.
So yeah, he says, hey, I had this surgery because I wanted to be able to go out there and play, man. I wanted to be able to go out there and be myself and not have to worry about my shoulder popping out or me taking a wrong hit or having to fall on it. I just wanted to get it fixed so I didn't have to worry about it. And you can see in the picture right here, he has a brace on his shoulder. So he's definitely playing with a brace. So that's probably one of the situations he's trying to correct, is just making sure he can kind of go out there and play freely, be himself, and feel good about running the football without having to worry about all the repercussions of falling on it wrong or taking a bad hit.
How much were you even thinking about that if you're, for instance, taking on contact and stuff like that? You're you are a physical runner when you need to be between the tackles. Like, are there times where you were even, protecting that shoulder, having to move a different way, not wanting that direct contact on it?
Yeah, I had to. Just being smart about the whole situation.
And this is what I want you guys to understand. He says being smart about the situation, right? So if a player knows, hey, I have a shoulder injury, I really don't want to take a hit and jeopardize, my body and my team, put my team in a bad situation. So he's always, when he's out there, he's playing cautious, right? And when you play cautious, it's not always the best thing, because you can't, you don't feel comfortable putting your shoulder down into a guy and running the guy over, or putting a stiff arm out there and feeling good about it because you're not worried about your shoulder popping out. So I feel like, now that he's had the surgery, he's feeling a lot better. He may be an even better runner, for us here in Miami. And I think, honestly, when it comes down to it, I think Mike McDaniel is just a really good offensive coach, right? I think he's a really smart coach. So I think if he understands the dynamic of getting Dalvin to, in this system, and being able to use him and A-Chain in different situations to his advantage, right? That chess match of being able to use guys in certain situations to really put the defense in a bind. That's what you want to do. You always want to put the defense in the bind. You want to use the entire field, make them cover the entire field, and really just, get after them. You want to attack them, right? Offense is called, it's offense because you're on the offensive. You're trying to attack them, right? So I think that's what Mike McDaniels is trying to do. And I think Dalvin is going to be a key piece in terms of him being comfortable with our running back room. And I'll continue on, but let me I'm going to address a couple questions too before. So Kenny Rankin says, playing on that 3 years, no wonder he take cheap money from Miami and do it by committee, and he'll then come back and then ask for more. That's his best play, in my opinion. And I somewhat kind of agree with that. Like, so he's been playing on a bum shoulder, but he's been productive on the bum shoulder, right? So since he's been productive on the bum shoulder, it's like, damn, like he still had the numbers. So you really can't lowball Dalvin. He's right in asking for his money because he's been productive. He's had 4 straight 1,100-yard seasons. So you got to pay him, but it's like the running back market is funny right now. It's very fickle. James Robinson just got cut. Kareem Hunt's out there. Ezekiel Elliott's out there. So there's runners out there, and they aren't getting the looks. So it's like, hey, these guys aren't getting the looks. These guys are, good runners. So it's a very, very weird market. And I think the Vikings definitely did them injustice by releasing them when they did. But they're also thinking, hey, we need to save some money. So a couple of things of why they probably went about it that way. Q says, if he's doing it with a bum shoulder, I can imagine his numbers with a healthy shoulder. I agree, man. It's just the dude's good. He's a really good player. Just imagine if he doesn't have to worry about taking those hits and falling down a certain way. Moya TV says, why didn't he get the surgery last year? Not sure why he didn't get the surgery last year. Maybe he felt like it was good enough, and then he got into the season and it didn't really work out the way he thought it would. There could be a lot to that. Maybe we get Dalvin on the show and talk to him about it. We'll see. 8 says, y'all still think Cook is coming. I do think Cook will be a Miami Dolphin. I think the odds are in the Dolphins' favor, and I think he wants to be here, and I think that's part of it too. Like he has family here, his roots are here, in South Florida, and we'll see. Hopefully, it happens. Do I want Dalvin Cook to be a Miami Dolphin?
I hope so.
Okay.
Yeah.
I really do hope so. I really hope he's a Dolphin for sure. Reggie Brown, what's good? He says, "What's up, bro? What's up, bro? We're just going through this Dalvin Cook video real quick, with him interviewing today. Aqua, what's popping?" He says, "CB83 Dalvin adds balance to the offense. He does a lot of balance, and scheme fit also, right?" Moya TV says, "Why wait 2 or 3 years?" That's a good question, and that's a question for Dalvin. Now, it may have not been 2 or 3 years. It may have been, oh, my shoulder was, I got hurt initially. It felt better. I felt like I could go on it for another year or so. Then I injured it again, and then I kind of rehabbed back and got better. It felt better, and then it happened again, and then I realized, like, hey, let me go ahead and get this surgery so I don't have to worry about rehabbing it back and trying to get it back to where it was. So that could be the case too. You just never know how that worked out. Let's see. All right, let's continue on.
The shoulder was kind of one of those things where you can't dodge as a runner. You can't not take contact as a running back. So it's like one of those things where you got to be smart about it. And I came to the realization of, this thing is possibly could come out if I put myself in a bad position. So I tried to put myself in the best positions I could when it was torn.
So what you're telling me is for the past 4 years in which you ran for 1,000 yards every season and made the Pro Bowl 4 straight years, you were playing with one arm, basically. That's what you're saying.
Yeah, basically.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, he basically said, hey, I don't want it to pop out. Like, I don't want my shoulder to pop out. So, and that's what happens. Like, if he doesn't have his brace on there and he gets hit wrong, it could pop out on him. And then he's off on the sideline. They got to put it back in. They may have to shoot him up with some type of painkiller on at halftime or after the quarter ends or something. That's just the nature of the game, man. It's a violent game. Them guys take big hits every play. Them running backs do. So having a bum shoulder is difficult because you could take the wrong hit and it just really screw you up. So I think that's going to be important to him. Continuing on.
Not basically, I was. It was just one of those things where, like, I know, and it possibly can happen at any point. Just be smart about the situation. And, like, it kind of sounds kind of funny, kind of weird, but, like, I kind of try to put myself in the best position when I kind of score up on a defender or do some things. I kind of like make those quick decisions to put myself in the best decision to go back to take the next snap.
So how much are you able to do now? I know there's kind of a
So, yeah, he's saying, hey, every time I take a hit, what's good, Irv? What's up with you? I see you, bro. So he says every time I take a hit or I square up on a guy, I'm feeling like, I gotta get a certain way. I gotta have my body a certain way. My shoulders gotta be a certain way. It's gotta be out of the way. So that becomes difficult. And these hits come within a split second. So it's very quick. You got to understand the NFL game is a very quick game. I think the average play lasts like 7 seconds, 8 seconds, something like that. So it's a very quick game. So you got to think he's running through the hole and trying to see guys right away and adjust. It could be a bit much. So I'm sure if he's feeling healthy and that shoulder's feeling a lot better, he'll be a much better runner. He can just think less. The less you can think, the less you think, the better off you are. The more you could just play fast and get after it.
A ramp up progression. Are you able to do basically everything in terms of training at this point?
Yeah, doctor pretty much turned me loose about 2 weeks ago. He cleared me to get back into physical things to kind of ease my way back into it. But yeah, I just been rehabbing and getting my motion back and just been grinding, man.
Four-time Pro Bowl running back Dalvin Cook is our guest. So obviously, there were months of speculation about how things were going to play out for you in Minnesota. You get released on Friday. You're a free agent for the first time in your career. What's this experience like for you right now?
So yeah, Dalvin just got released Friday. Free agent now. He can kind of be courted by all the teams who want his services. He's never had this opportunity. I'm sure he's looking to kind of take his time with it, at least kind of fill everybody's offers out and then determine what he wants to do. Now, it's my understanding that the Miami Dolphins came in very low initially, right? Hey, appreciate everybody in the chat. I see you, Triple S. I see you, Q. Hey, I really would appreciate if y'all hit that like button for me. That would be dope. So do that for me. But yeah, so getting back to what we were talking about. So free agent for the first time, he's really kind of being courted by teams, getting on the phone with coaches and talking to teams about, what he can provide for them, how they think he fits into their offense. So it's just really interesting to see. And I'm sure he wants to take his time a little bit. I'm sure he wants to take his time a little bit and just make sure he's making the right decision, right? He doesn't want to jump the gun. I think Miami has thrown an offer out there. Supposedly, from my understanding, it was a low offer of around $4.5 million. So I think that could be, where they are with it. Now, I know the Miami Dolphins will up that. I know they will, but as a negotiator, you always want to come in low, and that's just the art of negotiating. Like if you aren't coming in low, you're doing yourself a real disjustice by not coming in low initially. That's the art of negotiation. You guys are on Facebook Marketplace, Craigslist, OfferUp. When you're trying to buy something, you're going to come in low, see if they bite, and then try to get them to meet you somewhere in the middle, right? So if Dalvin comes in at 10, right, and he says, oh, I want to get paid 10 mil. That's what I was getting paid before. The Dolphins may come in at 5. That's what I would do. That's always my motto. Hey, come in at half the price. Hey, come in at 5. And then bump it up to 7, 7.5. Can we meet at 7.5? How about we do 6 million with 1.5 in incentives? You hit your incentives, you get your 7.5. You're still getting 2 million from the Vikings. So that gets you to that 10 mil. So maybe that's the case. So maybe that's what they're doing. And I think that's probably along the lines of how McDaniel and Chris Greer are kind of working this thing out. Shout out to the homies in the chat. We got Irvin there. Triple S, what's good? My man Cruz says, what's good? CB83, what's good with y'all boys, man? Q says, subscribe to the channel. Subscribe to the channel. Check your boy out. We'll be doing these all the time. You already know how we get down. All right, continuing it.
It's different, man. I got a lot of love for Minnesota. They brought a kid in that didn't know what to expect, and they embraced me. But I'm looking forward to this next step in my life, and it's gonna be fun. Whoever gets Dalvin Cook, they know what they get, and that's just plain and simple. Like what you're getting out of me, and I'm gonna come be a great team player, great teammate, a great person in the locker room, and I'm just ready to go run a rock and help somebody win games.
Hey, that's what we need. We need somebody to come run the rock and help us win games. You already know what time it is, man. We need that. So hopefully Dalvin Cook can make it to Miami. That's what I'm hoping. I know we have other priorities. We have other stuff going on. I understand that. But I just know that I really want to get off this Miami Dolphins offensive line train, and I want a solid runner. I need somebody that's going to be there consistently, that's done it, that's had 1,000-yard seasons, that can do the pass blocking in the trenches, that can take on a defensive end and feel comfortable about it, right? when the offensive line is calling protections and Tua's calling protection and they slide right, they do that hard play action. We need a running back who's going to come off that edge and be able to take on defensive linemen, right? And linebackers. And that's going to be important for the play action. If Tua cannot get these passes off because he's getting pressured and killed by dudes coming off the edge because we're slide protection and we're play action, it's going to be a problem. And I don't think people think about all the nuance of the football game. There's a lot of stuff that goes into it. So pass protection is going to be really important, especially when you play action is a big part of your game. You're going to have to be able to hold those defensive ends. You're going to have to be able to read those guys. And Dalvin Cook and Tua can have some really good chemistry. Tua, I love Tua's fakes. I love how he holds onto the football and puts it out there. There's a lot of attention to detail when it comes to his fakes and selling the play action and stuff like that. So that, along with a really good runner, it just makes us much, much more dynamic. So we got to take that into consideration. Now, I'm not saying Mostert and Jeff Wilson and A-Chain can't do that. I just think Dalvin adds another layer to this offense, a layer that we haven't seen because we don't have that dynamic runner that could do it all. So that versatile guy that we can have in for every down.
So I got to imagine when a guy like Dalvin Cook gets released, you got to have every star quarterback, every player in the league sliding in your DMs, trying to get you to come. How many people? Who are you hearing from right now around the league?
Man, it's crazy, man. It's crazy. And I play Madden a lot, and I do free agency and in the Madden and my fantasy leagues and stuff. We bid on players and stuff like that. But kind of like going through this process of like in real life, it kind of feel like a video game to me. It's like it's funny, man. It's exciting. You know, it's the next step in my life, and you know, I had a lot of people reach out to me in these past weeks, in these past few months, just to reach out and see what I was thinking. But it's a lot of.
So that's dope, man. He says it's like playing Madden. Honestly, I saw a video somewhere of Justin Jefferson. He was like, the best Madden player I've ever played was Dalvin Cook. So Dalvin must be really, really nice in Madden. We'll see. I mean, I play a little bit of Madden too. You know, I consider myself a gamer. I can lock in. I can call the plays. I know how to play the defense. So we'll see. Maybe we strike it up one day. I'm on the Xbox Live, man. So if he wants to lace him up, get on the sticks, we could do that. Because I've been playing Madden for years, man. That's just what we do. Madden and NCAA. That's what we did. And NCAA is coming back. Looking forward to that one, man. I was in the game at one point, so really looking forward to that. And these football games, man. Hopefully, Dalvin is a Dolphin, and then we could play with him and play against each other. That'd be cool, bro. So that's dope. But continuing on.
A lot of people reaching out.
You want to tell me who? You want to let me know where you're leaning right now, Dal?
Hey, we're going to keep them anonymous. On here.
All right. So let me ask you this then. So what are you looking for? Ultimately, at this point, you've had a lot of personal success. There's always the possibility to go win a Super Bowl someplace. Like, what do you?
So he asked Dalvin, "Hey, what are you leaning towards? What's the deal?" And Dalvin's about to answer the question. Let's see what his answer is like.
Looking for beyond the money, which we can certainly get into that too. But besides getting paid, like, what do you want? What does it have to be for this to be the right fit for you to come in and be somebody's running back right now?
I want the value. I want somebody that value Dalvin Cook. I want somebody that want me to be there and want to give me the ball. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just want to go into the right situation so I can just go help somebody win. Like you said, like, the money don't come or whatever it comes with. You play good, they're going to pay you. That's what comes with it. But I just want to go somewhere and feel like it's home for me and go somewhere and help somebody win and just go be me. Just go turn the loose.
Man, he said he wants to go somewhere and feel like it's home. Man, I felt that, man. You want to go somewhere and feel like you at home, like you've done this before. And after playing in the state of Florida, so he played college ball at FSU, went up to Minnesota, hasn't had the opportunity to be a free agent. Now he has the opportunity to come back home to South Florida, play in the heat where he grew up playing at. He grew up playing in Miami. He was a dog here in Miami. So it's crazy. He's going to have an opportunity to come back home. I think he wants to be a Dolphin. I think at this point, it's just a matter of the numbers kind of matching up. And I don't think we're far off. If we offer him 4.5, 5 initially, and he was at 10, I think the 6.5 to 7.5 gets it done. It don't sound like Chicago. It don't sound like nowhere cold. It don't sound like Denver. It don't and black people don't ski. We don't ski. We jet ski. So Dalvin need to go on. Hey, go ahead, come back home, get on them skis, get on the boat, and hang out, man. Let me go back up. I wanted to address H's comment. He says, I don't think Dalvin would be happy playing for the Dolphins because we have several players that are options before him. Now, keep this in mind. If Dalvin comes to the Miami Dolphins, there will be no options before him in terms of the run game. None at all. He will be the premier runner on our roster. So he will get the bulk of the carries. I can see him getting 75% of the carries. And then A-Chain and Mostert getting the other 25%. But I see him being the bell cow back that we need in this offense. So I don't think there's going to be anybody prioritized before him. The only guys that'll get the ball before, or not before him, but at the same rate, we can say, is Tyreek, Waddle, those guys in the passing game. Chosen Anderson, they're going to get looks as well. But I can guarantee you that in a Mike McDaniel's offense, I think Dalvin Cook this year will probably get more touches and more looks than Tyreek Hill and Waddle and everybody else. I think he becomes the number one priority for our offense in getting him the football, to be completely honest with you. And then you're going to say, would love to have him here, but not sure he'd be happy in the role McDaniel would have for him. Trust me, McDaniel is not bringing Dalvin Cook to Miami to not give him the ball. And look what Christian McCaffrey did for San Francisco down the stretch. They literally ran Christian McCaffrey into the ground, and they were the same type of backfield. Have 3 or 4 guys running the ball, right? Then they get McCaffrey, and they're like, hey, you about to carry us. We about to get the butter from the dirt. We about to get our money's worth. And that's what Christian McCaffrey came for that offense. He became for that offense. He became a guy who was running the ball, touching the ball at least 20 times a game. Whether it was in the pass game or the run game, he was getting the carries. And he was tired. He was dog tired. So he went from a team that, Carolina was using him, but when he got to San Fran, it was like, oh, you got to up your game now. It's competitive out here. We're going to give you the ball a lot, and we're going to expect a lot out of you. We got high expectations for you. And that's why they went and got him. And I think that's what Mike McDaniels is doing with Dalvin, going to get his guy that he knows is those dudes. Now, we got to keep in mind, Mostert, Jeff Wilson, Gaskins, Ahmed, these guys are stopgaps, right? These guys are stopgaps. These guys are bridges for the next running backs, right? A-Chain is that next guy. The first guy drafted by Mike McDaniel. Mostert, these other guys, Jeff Wilson Jr., were brought in by Mike McDaniel, but they're not really his guys. A-Chain, Dalvin Cook will be his guys, right? There will be the premier runners, and those other guys will have to fall in line. I think Mostert's still going to get touches. He's still going to get carries. But just imagine, we could possibly trade Mostert. You could trade Mostert. You could cut Wilson. You really have no ties to Wilson. You really have no ties to Ahmed and Gaskins either. So that's 3 guys right there that could be gone and could be cut, and you not even have to worry about it. They're only getting paid like $500,000, basically minimums, right? So you got to keep that in mind, man. And we'll see. And continuing on.
Lose. I'm just looking for a home. That's it, man.
You might have seen Saquon Barkley's comments the other day about not just his situation being on the tag with the Giants, but also just the state of negotiations and the same stuff you're talking about, like the value that he brings to that team and why he thinks you get paid at a certain level. You look around the league and, you know, Josh Jacobs, there's nothing really happening on getting him signed. He's on the tag. Pollard's on the tag. Jonathan Taylor's going to get paid at some point. We just had Leonard Fournette on.
So this dude's basically running down all the running backs right now. And the running back market is really fickle right now. These dudes really aren't getting paid their value. They're really trying to change that. And you know, not play on these tags, because playing on a tag means, hey, I'm getting paid this 1 year, but if I get hurt, shit, it's messing up my money. So that's what he's saying right now. And I'm pausing it every, 15 to 20 seconds. So YouTube don't mess with me. What's up? We got HCT. What's good with you, man? The homie PL, what's popping with you, man? How you feeling? What's up with y'all? Hit that like on your way in for me. Appreciate you.
A little bit ago, when you look at just the state of the running back market and what's kind of happening to some of these guys, like what's your reaction?
To me, honestly, it's kind of sad because, you just named a bunch of great football players, and it's the running back position. Like, I think people overlooking this position, not thinking they are overlooking this position, and don't think, the game don't start and stop with the ball being on the ground. You control the ground. I think the game is controlled. So I think the running back position is at a point to, we don't know. We don't know the certainty of a running back position. Like, I think people think it's just, it is about the quarterback position. But
so Dalvin saying, hey, it is about the quarterback position, but it does all kind of start with the running backs, man. Like, the ground game is important. And I want you guys to understand this, is that the ground game is important because it's really the highest percentage play, right? You running the football and getting 3 to 4 yards is a very high percentage play. When a quarterback drops back to throw a pass and he's got to throw it to a guy, and the guy has to catch it, and the guy has to bring it down, and the defender has to not get his hands on it, that's a low percentage play, right? All you got to do to run the ball is drop back, hand them the ball, and let them run for 3 to 4 yards or 5 yards or 10 yards or 50 yards, whatever it is. So it's a very high percentage play. Passing the ball is a lower percentage play. You have a lot that has to go right. The O-line has to block. Maybe the running back has to block. Then you have to have the wide receiver catch it. Then you have the DB that has to not get his hand on it. So you got to understand that too, is that they may devalue the running back position, but they never devalue the running game. The running game is always going to be a part of NFL football. It always is. And when you go look at the Super Bowls and look at these big playoff games, you understand that the running game is important. I think in the Super Bowl, the Chiefs had like 100 and some yards rushing, right? They ran the football a lot in that game because they understood, hey, we need to control the clock. We need to manage it. We need to be able to move the ball when we're not able to connect on the throws, because connecting on the throws is difficult at times. These defenses are good. These DBs are good. I'm telling you. And I think that's what teams will do against us. I think teams will try to focus on running the ball against us. When you got Ramsey, X, Holland, and all these dudes in the secondary, bro, you got to be able to run it, because we don't want to go out there and try to throw it every down. We're going to get picked off. It's just too much stuff that could go wrong. And when that play gets picked off, when that interception comes, that thing could go back to the crib. That could be housed. So you got to keep that in mind, man. Continuing on.
But, I think it started stop with the running back position. I think we got to get back to that, just playing good football, man. And I talked to a lot of those guys, man. It's a sad situation to where people just don't value the running back position, but that don't stop us from going to play good football. And I think So that's what it's all going to come down to. Just keep playing good football, and I think the possession will get back to where it needs to be at.
So when do you hope to be signed by? Like, do you need to be on a team at the start of camp? Are you good, kind of taking your time, so things play out in training camp? Like, what's it going to take, and when would you ideally like to be on a team?
It's a good question, man. And that's honestly, these are some of the questions that we want to hear, right? We want to hear, hey, what's your timetable like? Like, when are you looking to sign? Like, I want to know, because maybe he's taking his time, and letting the teams court him and figure out how he can fit on other teams. Maybe that's the case. But I think the longer this thing plays out, I think it will be in the Miami Dolphins' favor. Because if he's out there and, teams aren't showing interest or teams are showing a little bit of interest, I think he's more inept to be like, yo, I'm going to take, a little bit less money to go back home and play at the crib and, play with my former guy, my FSU alumni guy, and Jalen Ramsey, and see if we can go get a chip. See if I can help Tua, stay healthy and go get this chip. So I think that could be a possibility. So if it plays out a little longer than expected, I think it could be in the Miami Dolphins' favor.
Just gonna find a home time.
My shoulder's feeling great, so it's like it's a waiting game right now at this point. Just trying to find that right situation. I don't think it's a rush for anything. Like, as far as me picking up plays and going to play football, that's the easy part about the game. But I just think me feeling great, which I am, and I think me just being in the right.
And that's another thing. He says, hey, me picking up plays and stuff. Appreciate that, Kennerank. He says, I just subscribed, bro. Appreciate you. Hey, all them subscribers help, man. You ain't got to donate. You ain't got to do nothing. You can just help me by subscribing. That means a lot to me. I appreciate it. But Dalvin says, hey, picking up the plays is easily. The easiest position, I'm not even going to say the easiest to play, but the easiest position to come in and contribute right away it's most likely the running back position, because those guys understand, hey, I'm getting the ball here. This is the hole I'm going to. There's not a lot of play calls and stuff like that. They're going to have to understand like routes and choice routes and stuff like that, check downs. But running backs can pick up on their stuff really easy. So he doesn't have to be in a rush to get into the playbook, because he understands he's done a lot of this and it's all the same. He just needs to understand like where we're going, what's the scheme, what's the concept of the play, what's my aiming point? Do I need to get outside? Do I need to hit the 9 hole? Do I need to be outside the tight end? Do I need to be inside the tight end? Stuff like that. So I don't think he's going to be in a rush, but I also think if a team does justice by him and gives him the right deal, he'll go ahead and move forward.
The right shape and stuff like that, just going to play for a football team. I think that's going to be the best thing. But I'm not in a rush to go sign with nobody. I'm just trying to find the right fit for me and my family.
So last thing for you, I mean, your tape is going to say a lot about what type of player some team is getting, but like if you're making.
So he also said something key right there too. He said, "A best situation for me and my family." Right? He's not just thinking about himself; he's thinking about his family too. He has family in Miami. Really, the best situation for him and his family would be being back in Miami, coming back to the crib. Dalvin has business here, where he breeds dogs. So I think, of course, his family wants him back home, closer to home. They can hang with him. They can do the family gatherings. They can come to the game. It's much easier for them to come to the game. His mom and dad, they don't have to travel as much. He's in the division. He's going to play his brother twice a year. His parents will be at that game. So that, and his family will be at that game. That plays a lot into this situation. So you got to keep that in mind. His brother is in Buffalo as a running back there. He comes to Miami. They play twice a year, right? He's in Miami. He can kind of watch over moms and the family. It's a lot that goes on. I think ideal situation, shit, he probably wants to be here. He just wants the team to value him and put the money on the table. Dolphins, Chris Greer put the money on the table. It's gonna be a go. It's gonna be a go, man. Kenna Rankin says I'm out. I gotta work. Hey, work in the AM. Y'all stay safe. Peace, bro. Appreciate you. Appreciate y'all coming through. My man Cruz says I go to Puerto Rico in the AM. Good night, fellas. Be safe. Hey, appreciate you, man. Safe travels, man. Safe travels. Get there safely. Praying for safe travels back as well, man. Hold it down. Bring me back something, man. Some rum, some cigars, something. I know y'all got something good over there in Puerto Rico, man. Shout out to Puerto Rico. But yeah, let me continue this real quick and then I'll wrap this up, man.
Making the pitch to a GM about why you should pay Dalvin Cook right now and bring him in. Give it to me, man. Lay it on me. I'm a GM. You're on the phone with me. Why am I their guy?
I think I'm all fixed up now. My shoulder's feeling great. And like you said, man, you know what you're getting out of Dalvin Cook. As soon as I step foot in the locker room or on the football field, I'm going to be the best teammate, be the best leader you can get. And I'm going to show that by my actions and, how I carry myself and the things I do on the field. Though you cut the tape on, that speaks for itself. But I think mostly, and what's important for me is, the off the field stuff, being the right figure in the community,
Man, and check this out, man. Look at the numbers, man. And he said it, man. Hey, you cut the film on, you know what you're gonna get in Dalvin Cook. Total yards in 2022, 1468, average 4.8, 10 touchdowns, 2021, 1383, 4.9 a touch, 2020, 1900 yards, and they're adding in passing and rushing. 17 total touchdowns in 2020. Had a crazy year. And then 2019 is 1,600 yards, 13 touchdowns, 5.5 yards a carry. That's solid. That's solid. Those are great numbers. Those numbers are up there with some of the best running backs in NFL history, hands down. And that's why I say he's a top 5 runner. Dude's a monster. He's a beast. He's a beast. That's my Seminole. So hopefully he makes it down to Miami to become my Dolphin as well. So let's finish this up.
Just doing all the right stuff off the field. On the field is gonna come. I just want to be the best teammate I could be, and you know what you're gonna get out of Dalvin Cook once I step in that locker room.
Well, I know you did a lot of that stuff in Minnesota, man, the off the field stuff. And, I'm going to miss, I don't know if we're going to have as many Friday afternoon chats at your locker anymore. So I'm going to miss that stuff, man, but appreciate you as always. And thanks a lot for coming on, Dalvin.
I appreciate you, Todd. I'm going to miss you too, man.
I'll see you. Don't worry. I'm not going anywhere. I'll find you wherever you are.
Okay. I appreciate you, man.
All right, buddy. Good luck. That is Dalvin Cook, free agent.
Dope. So I love it, man. I think it was a really good interview. I think Dalvin's a really good guy. And just off the field, on the field, like he's never got in no trouble. He's just a worker. He's just a grinder. And that's what I appreciate about him. He's a grinder. My man Moya says, I don't know if y'all know, but he led the league in it says no yards lost last year was like 60%, but with a busted shoulder, right? And still got over 100K. I mean, still got over 1K. So dudes, hey, a beast. I'm telling y'all, straight monster, man. I gotta run. It's getting late. I appreciate everybody coming through. Tomorrow, I'm probably gonna go live tomorrow or Thursday. I got family coming in town, but there's some other stuff I do want to talk about. There's a lot of stuff I want to address. Christian Wilkins, we need to talk about Tua's leadership role and how he's stepping up and becoming more of a leader in the locker room. There's a lot to go over. So, guys, be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Turn on notifications. I appreciate everybody coming out. It's all love. You guys be blessed. See ya. I'm out.
Came from the bottom, that's foreign. I swear that I'm up for the sun in the morning. Oof, hey, I gotta flex. I need a Nike bag, give me the check. I need the money and power, respect, but I promise I'm repping the O to the dead. Hey, oof, I told him out of my way. I don't got nothing to say.